Hello and welcome back to another episode of Burg's Book Review. Today's book that we're going to be looking at is Challenge Your Deep by Neil Shusterman. There we go. This book tells a story of this boy named Caden and his struggle with mental illness. It bounces back and forth between reality and this pirate ship, which later on in the book you realize symbolizes the mental health hospital that he finds himself with and the other patients and people that he meets there. I thought it was a very interesting writing style because each chapter just doesn't really cue you in to what is exactly happening. Like, I didn't even realize what the pirate ship symbolized until halfway through the book. There's also parts where the author talks as if you're Caden. That was very impactful because these thoughts that Caden were feeling being directed as if I was feeling them made me feel more connected to the moment. Sorry, I started there. To be honest though, as I started reading this book, it was a little hard to get into it because the first couple pages are just very, very confusing. The chapters aren't that long too, they're just like a couple pages at most, sometimes just a paragraph. There's these fun doodles on some pages that are meant to symbolize what's going on. The whole reason I picked this up at the bookstore is because I'm not really good at picking out books, and I saw that it has not one, but 2 awards. I figured that had to apply to something. Not gonna lie though, as I was reading it, it did feel a lot like something an English teacher would have assigned to me to read. I bet if I read this through school, I would not have been as happy to read it as I was just reading it on my own. Let me know if any of you guys are actually reading this right now for school, because I would not be surprised. When I had this thought though, I did know that the author's name sounded familiar, so I looked up what other books he wrote. He also wrote the Unwind series, which was, at least the first book was the one I read in middle school. So he does write the kind of stuff that would be taught in English class. It was an amazing book. I recommend it. It definitely brings you into this story, and even when I was reading it, I was feeling a little bit down myself, just feeling like, oh man, I don't feel like myself reading this. Take your breaks. I know reading something like that's very deep and impactful is stressful as well, so if this sounds like the type of book that you would be interested in, I recommend it. But if you're not into like thinking about mental illness, like be aware of it, but I get that. A book is meant to be enjoying, not something that you feel awkward or obligated to do. Except if it's for class, of course. Normally I like to add in like a funny little sketch, but I didn't think that I could do anything sketchy because that would be kind of inappropriate given the topic of this book. However, on page 33, there is a crew member questionnaire, which I will be looking over. Also, I hope you appreciate that I bookmarked it with a Grubhub that has my phone number on it, that has my address on it. Alright, I'm gonna block out everything except for what I'm showing. I hope you appreciate that I used the Grubhub receipt. That was just one number off from nice. Here is, it's at the bottom of the page here. Here's the questionnaire. It also leaks over onto this page a little bit. Please rate the following statements from 1 to 5 using the scale below. 1, strongly agree. 2, totally agree. 3, agree empathically. You know what I'm saying. 4, in absolute agreement. Or 5, how did you know? Question 1, I sometimes worry that the I sometimes worry that the ship might sink. 2. I totally agree. My fellow crewmen are hiding biological weapons. 3. The empathy. Energy drinks allow me to fly. Strongly agree. I am God, and God does not fill out questionnaires. 3. I enjoy the company of brightly colored birds. 4. Easy. Death tends to leave me hungry. 5. My shoes are too tight and my heart is 2 sizes too small. 5. I believe all the answers lie at the bottom of the sea. I mean, the ocean hasn't really been explored. All right, 4. I often find myself surrounded by soulless zombies. 4. Sometimes I hear voices from Home Shopping Network. 2. I can breathe underwater. 3. I mean, like I would want to. I have visions of parallel and or perpendicular universes. 2. I definitely do. I need more caffeine now. 1. I smell dead people. 5. Well, there's my crew member questionnaire. If you guys did it yourself, feel free to leave your answers down below. Don't forget to check out Challenger Deep at your local bookstore or Kindle or however you read. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to join the film club, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.